So you were there during a lot of the Biden presidency and an advisor and high level. How come you didn't say anything that, you know, when we were all saying he's demented, he's putting the country at risk? Why didn't people like you who were, if you're telling me you're honest that you were deep down conservative, but you were in a cult, why couldn't you just tell someone, let someone know that the man is declining?
I did, and I got exiled last year. Mid 2024, they exiled me for saying it. So like I did, and it's in the public record. I even went on Fox News Sunday to say it on July 21st. I did.
Right, well, listen,
that's why they excommunicated me before the election. I got banned from the White House, by the way.
What was the real relationship between Joe Biden and Kamala Harris? What was it like behind the scenes?
It was like a shotgun marriage after she ascended to the top of the ticket, but now they absolutely hate each other. And most of the hating is actually done by Jill Biden.
Most of what was done? I'm sorry, what most of what?
Most of the hating is done by Jill Biden, Lady McBiden.
Was she?
She hates Harris with a passion.
Lady Macbeth. Was she the effective president, Jill Biden, for the last maybe year?
Absolutely. That's something else that I leaked. She was the power behind the throne. She was the throne. After the debate, Hunter was in all the White House top level meetings, like without a security clearance. I didn't feel good about it. Did you? I mean, that was part of the reason why I did speak up, because it was just like absolutely egregious that we had a drug addict.
Was that cocaine Hunter's?
I can't speak to that. Everything that I say that I know for sure, but I can't speak to that specific bag. I mean, I would not be surprised. But if it were Hunter's, it would be empty, right?
This is I don't know, unless she was holding it for later.
That is true, yeah.
So Jill was effectively the commander in chief, so to speak. I mean, weren't aides upset with that? Wasn't Tony Blinken upset with that? Did no one think to speak up? Did no one decide to talk to, I don't know, maybe the Senate, since Chuck Schumer held the Senate majority?
I think people were just looking out for their own skins. They saw Jill as their path to power, like Steve Ricchetti and Anita Dunn and Mike Donnellan, Anthony Bernal. These are the people running the show. It's not in their self-interest to expose Jill when Jill is their meal ticket.
Was there any discussion? Was there any discussion about the border, knowing that the number is 200, 250,000, 300,000 illegals will come across, and that they weren't really doing anything other than sending Mayorkas out there saying that the border's fine?
That made me so bloody sick, by the way, especially since I'm a naturalized immigrant. That's one of the issues that I brought up, and they call me a bigot because I care about borders. Like my family and I, we came here like 30 years ago, the right way, through JFK Airport. We waited. My dad was a doctor. He ended up at Harvard Medical School. Like everything he did contributed to the success of America. Meanwhile, we have like millions of people coming through the border. I feel very strongly about this. And when I raise such issues, they call me a bigot.
Internally?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I said, this is a doomed campaign if you don't address this issue.
Lindy, who would do this? Who's like a top level aide or just folks out of a bar?
Not only aides. I brought up this issue with top level campaign officials. I brought up the Biden age issue. I'll give you a name, Ken Martin. He's now the chair of the party. I brought up this issue 2 to 3 years ago. I said Biden is too old. Actually, I said it as a question because I didn't want to offend him, or, you can't speak up against Biden in that cult. But I said, don't you find this a little bit problematic? Like, don't you think maybe he is in cognitive decline? This is about 3 years ago. And I remember Wendell Pierce from The Wire, that guy, that guy, he was standing right next to me. And my brother was there and he answered me in front of them. He made me feel stupid. And he's like, oh, don't worry about it. It's nothing.
What do you know about...
Completely gaslit me.
What do you know about the absolute disaster that the Afghanistan withdrawal was? And did they realize how serious of mistakes they were making before or after?
That was a moment. That was the beginning of the end. I think that was the end of the honeymoon. And the moment he looked at his watch, do you remember at the
transfer, dignified transfer? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That was just absolutely awful. I think it was stunning. That was actually one of the moments where I had to be honest. I really like Joe Biden. I'm sorry. He was very kind to me and my family. I was misled. He was nice to me because I was the money. I'm realizing that now. It took me a while to realize that.
You were fundraising. You were fundraising for him.
Yeah. And by the way, I wasn't paid. I'm just one of those rich donors. People think I'm a disgruntled employee. No, I'm not. I'm one of those people, campaign bundlers, what we did.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're held in high regard and high esteem.
Right.
Kamala, you raised money for Kamala Harris.
And didn't have a choice because they didn't give us a choice. It happened within 24 hours.
What happened?
And so everyone had to fall in line. And I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt. I do want to say that. I wanted to give her a chance. And then she hid from the media for a month.